Welcome back, folks. We're in for another Disney Lorcana video. I am Mike. I go by Disney Dad Canada on Instagram, Discord, and all that good stuff. And I'm just still so thrilled to be a part of this community here and talk a little bit here about what some of my short-term collecting goals are and what I'm doing in the Lorcana market ahead of Fable. Shout out to all the dads out there that will be celebrating Father's Day. Perhaps this will give some ideas to you of what you can treat your dad to if he's the Lorcana collector in your life. But there's a little video from my Instagram. I was able to play this week at locals. We got Giant Mickey on the field. We got him twice just before getting prepped and lost, which I can't believe, but that's okay. It was still a lot of fun. My son had asked me to build a deck around Giant Mickey. We did that with Hades Double Dealer, with Inspirational Warrior, and a few other ways to draw out Giant Mickey, and we did it. So we had a lot of fun with that, and I have a great time at locals. Good community there that was pretty excited to see me play this deck, even though I'm not very good at playing. I still love it, but I think I'm getting pretty good at collecting, which is what we're going to talk about today. So here's some things that I would think about spending my money on in the short term, in the long term, and just some justification, some things I've had on my mind, some collectible cards that I think might either be at their best price or are ones that are worth saving up for or keeping an eye on before you get priced out in the short and the long term. So if I had $1,000 to spend in Lorcana, I would certainly consider the D23, 2022 cards. It'd be tough to find the Stitch or the Elsa for that price, but some of the lesser characters, the Cruellas and the the Captain Hooks, those should be available raw. You'd have to make sure it's a good copy. I'm a little nervous to spend that kind of money on that kind of card sight unseen unless it's like a graded one. But for me, I think what you might want to do, and I think what sort of plays into where we're going with this, is you might want to save up the money for the iconic Mickey that's going to come out of Fabled in set 9. Now, how much is this card going to cost? I don't know. It could be $300, could be $500, could be $1,000, could be way more or way less. But I think that this card is one that that's the first iconic set. This almost first iconic card ever. It will pair with a mini as well, so it'll be an extended art between the two on the carousel. But I also think that it looks very likely that they're going to reprint Brave Little Tailor in an Enchanted to get his own Enchanted, not to be confused with the many other iterations of that card. So I like. This is going to be a Floodborn shift almost definitely onto Brave Little Tailor, so it almost becomes like I wonder what kind of where that goes and how playable it may or may not become. But either way, I think this card is beautiful. I think it's good to speculate. It's probably good to save on money on it. I'm not saying buy it right away. I'm just saying start thinking about saving up for it because I think it's going to cost more and more as the years go on. Some $500 or less hyper collectible / somewhat playable cards as well that I would keep my eye on. Stitch Rockstar is the card, guys. It's the card that if you have $500 or less kicking around, I think you should be investing in it now. It's the first ever store championship promo card given out to the top 4 place players at store championships for the very first store championship they ever did. They now give out top 8 prizing, and those cards sell for much less. But Stitch is, first of all, extremely popular, like Mount Rushmore character in Disney Lorcana right now, right? The kids love him, and he's not going anywhere, but he's also going to be rotated in the next set, and his price has been much higher. Now, again, I don't know how much I would take stock in some of these prices, but I know that he's been at a market price much higher than $350, and he is slowly trending up right now. And the thing that makes, like if Stitch ever in a world becomes playable in the meta, this card's going to pop off crazy because people are going to want to put it in their decks for ofs or whatever. And I just think that this card has so much legs, collectability, so it's going to be front of mind for a little while, but it's also going to be it's got so much going for it that I think now is the time to get it if you've missed out before. Secondly, the Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. I think this is an extremely playable card, marketable card. The Enchanteds have been going nuts forever. It's always been a high value card, and I think that because it will also be rotated in as well. This is about the lowest price you're ever going to see on it. I looked through some of the market data, and it has been as high as 300-ish before. It's now sitting at 260. You could have got it a couple weeks ago for 230, 240, so that might have been the play. But I think the longer you wait on Tinkerbell, I think the more you're going to regret it. Her face is everywhere. She's on Playmatch. She's on Glimmer Foils coming up with the new set of Fable. Tinkerbell's not going anywhere. She is very much one of the top iconic pictures and with associated with this early Lorcana brand, and I think you absolutely need to get it on Tinkerbell now if you have any aspirations of doing so. A card that should not, could only get better with meta playability is Mufasa, Ruler of Pride Rock. This card is at roughly 225 US dollars, and it can't get a sniff of competitive play. That tells you right there that collectors like myself, like you, likely watching this video, identify with this character, identify with this art, resonate with this card as strictly collectible. Can you imagine a world where this becomes meta viable? I can. And at that point, this card goes through the roof. It's already a set five card that is a top five collectible value card based on no playability at all. It bucks what Lorcana trends do in terms of establishing value, and I think there's so much room. If this to me is a blue chip card that they've got the playmat coming out in Fabled soon. They had the recent Mufasa Ruler of Pride Rock movie. It has everything going for and it's completely going against what Lorcana trends usually are, which is meta defining cards tend to dictate the market. So I think you need to get it on Mufasa now. I think you needed to get it on it yesterday, and I would probably have a couple copies if I could afford it. Same with the Stitch. Um, Getting into some of the legendaries here, like I like these legendary cards a lot, and I think that what I've started to do and what I've been keeping myself busy with in this sort of lull of like, I think collectors and players are nervous right now. We don't want to spend too much money because we don't know what Fabled will bring in terms of rotation, and that's completely fair. But what you can do is you can make a couple speculative plays that if you lose, you'll never lose your shirt, and they could end up actually yielding significant gains to help increase the value of your collection. To me, Merlin is one of them. I grab these cards at $2 or less. They are legendary cards from set five, so they've still got at least another year plus of run in it. It has a really, really cool dynamic where you can, when you play this character and you use shift to play him, you may search your deck for any card to put that in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Not to mention that Merlin has been very popular in Amethyst between the goat and the rabbit and the oh geez, what else? The crab and even like the turtle, the squirrel. I'm just thinking of all the ones that we enjoy. Some much more playable than others, but that's we our family loves that movie now. Never got into it till recently. My son is a huge squirrel fan there, right? So yeah, it's just a really really cool situation right now. I absolutely believe in Merlin right now as a potentially collectible, viable card. I think it could get play in the meta. I think Blurple, shifting onto an Amethyst with this Merlin would be extremely interesting, and I definitely believe that it can do something there. So I think I like a couple cheap spec plays like this one. The next one is Clarabelle Flight on their Hooves. So this card has been as expensive as $25 to $30. It is now $13. It is the best legendary Emerald card I can think of, and certainly the best draw engine. It's got so many things going for it. It's currently viable in almost every Emerald deck. It's got a huge amount of runway. It's been twice as expensive. We've seen legendary cards that are hyper playable that dominate the meta go between 30 and 50 US dollars. Like at this point, I have a playset of these. I would absolutely consider getting another. And I don't think I think you're going to have a chance to make value on that, or you'll have a great card to play. Um, Love this Prince Naveen. I played against him recently. It's so cool. You play the card, and then when you play the character, you get to sing a song with a cost of 6 or less for free. So on play, you get to play a whole new world, or you get to play, where is it? Down in New Orleans. A really, really cheap, attractive, super rare for less than $1. I think there's huge value in this. I think they're going to rotate out Rapunzel Gifted with healing. I think that I think Cindy Ballroom Sensation is gone. I think Ariel Spectacular Singer is likely gone. I think Prince Naveen and Aurora Waking Beauty from Arcasia's Island are your new singers for Amber. And I think there's a lot of potential there. So I think that would be another great play. Prince Naveen is in the $5, $6, $7 range. He's been more expensive before. I don't know if you'll make huge gains on this, but I think this is a card you might want to get ahead of right now. And both Prince Naveen and Clarabelle have some pretty cool enchanteds. So if you're an enchanted chaser and you want to flip that for value later on when it becomes meta viable and players might want to throw the enchanted in their decks, I think there's some value to that as well. Sugar Rush Speedway. This is kind of like my killer. Like I think this card could do really, really well because I played the Racers deck, the Ruby Amber deck recently, and I really enjoyed playing it. But I think that the thing I was having a problem with was drawing cards and gaining lore. Well, when you move a character from here from a location, the starting line, you may banish this location to gain 3 lore and draw 3 cards. If you can do that 3 times, you're halfway to 20 lore, and you've got 9 extra cards in your hands. This is the answer. This is why my deck didn't work at locals. And I think that for a card that's what, 74 cents, so the same ballpark here as down in New Orleans, I think these cards can become $5 to $10 cards if they become playable. And I think for 70 cents a card, you cannot go wrong. Counterintuitive to that is Daisy Donald's Date. So I think that Daisy is actually kind of a high value card, but I think it could go higher. We have seen super rares, and look at this one. This one has been twice the price of what it has been before. You can't play Amber without this card. And I'm very, very hesitant to pick dual ink colored super rares and rares to lean into as potential plays because it really narrows it. Like you have to have somebody that's playing a dual ink combination to be interested in that card. So it limits the collector field. It limits the tradable field, the asset movement field. But when you have the monocolors here, and Daisy Duck is like no matter if it's aggro Steel Song, if it's or aggro Amber Steel, if it's Steel Song, Daisy always gets played. She comes out on turn 1 in every deck, and she's going to be here for another 15 months plus. Daisy is a good buy if you can find her for $8 less. I believe that. Now, that might be a little risky for you when you can buy 70-cent cards, but I like the play. Let's see, a few others here before we get out of here. Some promos. I think that these promos are extremely slept on. For $4 each, you can get a foil Stitch Alien Buccaneer. Again, we talk about Stitch's popularity. This has the D23 2022 foiling in the background. Sort of difficult to find on the bordered cards here. So I think it's actually kind of unique in that. They haven't done too many like that. I think you buy a few of these, you send them in a drawer, and 5 or 10 years later, they're worth a lot more than $4 each. That's how I feel about this card. It's how I feel similarly about Lilo Escape Artist. This one comes out of the Lilo gift box from Arcasia's Island. This one could be a bit more playable. It's a super rare from Azurite Sea, so this one actually could run up a lot quicker, whereas I don't think I can't see a world where Stitch is going to become playable. I think he just becomes collectible in time. Lilo you can play right now in Amber decks. If somebody wants to foil it out, they'd probably rather have this version than your standard gold foil. There is no holographic version. I like a lot of things about this card. I think it's worth picking up for the $4 to $5 that people are asking for it. Last but not least, Detective Mickey. I think Detective Mickey, a first chapter or a first round of organized play, Mickey Mouse card for $2.76 makes no sense to me. Now, will it become collectible anytime soon? Probably not. It's probably going to take a long time, 5 to 10 years, maybe more. But I would pick it up. It's Mickey. It's cheap. It's desirable. You can't get it out of a pack. I just really like what's going on with this card. I like what's going along with a lot of these promos here. Some of them can run up pretty expensive. I get a little hesitant on some of the other big ones there, but like I've noticed the difference between Cinderella Stout-Hearted and Rapunzel has flipped recently. I don't think Rapunzel is going to get rotated in. I told you that before. I'm pretty sure Stout-Hearted is going to be, and that's just anecdotal evidence and internet sleuthing I've done off of, pictures and pre-releases and speculation. But that's the way I feel. And these are just I think these are some great cards you can think about for Father's Day. I think you can think about them for your collection, both in the short term and the long term. And I just really like talking about this stuff. And I hope you guys have enjoyed listening. So thanks for tuning in here. This is round 2 of my recording. I did a 31-minute video before and the audio was off and I was so upset. So I've done a little bit more concisely here to try and save some time and get back out there. But leave me a comment here. If you've made it this far in the video, then you probably like talking about collecting the way that I do. So reach out to me on Instagram, Disney Dad Canada. Feel free to follow along here. We've got 17 subscribers on YouTube, 140 some odd followers on Instagram. We're cooking and we're having fun. So thank you so much for being a part of this collecting journey with me, my family. Can't wait for Father's Day. And God bless you guys. Have a great weekend and we will talk to you soon. Take care.